Hi, Flosstube. This is Stitch Scotty with Flosstube number 5, and it's called I Think We Just Need a Little Lizzie Kate After Thanksgiving, and a few other things. So, anyway, I'd like to welcome you. This is November the 29th, Sunday in the year 2020, the fun year. And I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for subscribing and watching, and those that have commented have been so kind in their comments, because trust me, it's been a struggle sometimes to just get up the courage to do these videos. But I'm kind of enjoying it, and I hope y'all are too. If not, if you could think of something you'd like to have me add, that would be great. But I wish everyone a belated, blessed Thanksgiving. I hope everyone got to visit a little bit with some of their family and enjoyed lots of good food. So, without further ado, we'll start out with shout outs. And this week, I have a special lady three special ladies I would like to shout out. First of all, I would like to start with Marlene from Stitching by the Lake. She lives in Arkansas. She is just the sweetest lady, and she's such a pretty lady. And she makes some of the most beautiful projects and finishes, and everything she does is quite diverse. She also has prayer chats in her prayer chair. She doesn't have them as frequently now that I think, because I've not seen any lately, and I do miss those. They're quite good. If you haven't watched Marlene Stitching by the Lake, you really need to. She's fantastic, and she's just such a sweetie. And you need to go back and see where people made her, other stitchers made her ornaments for her birthday. If I had known about it ahead of time, I would have made her one too. Then there was Anna Stitch Roadie. She lives out on the West Coast, and she's in the process of moving. I love her chats. If I'm having a down and out day, and I just want to hear somebody talk, I will tune Stitch Roadie Anna. She also has a Quilt Roadie channel. But when things were kind of normal, she and her husband would get around in their little RV, I guess is what you'd call it. I think its name's Penny. I think they've named it. And they would just go to all these beautiful places, and she would take her stitching with her, and she crams it in every nook and cranny everywhere. And she has such beautiful work, and some of the items I've never seen before. So, especially her little Korean people. So you need to check her out, and she is quite funny. She can come up with some of the funniest little things and just put a smile on your face. Then next we have Elizabeth with Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She's a good bit younger than I am, but I enjoy watching her. She has so much energy. And when she does her little tutorials, well, she doesn't call them tutorials. She just says, this is just how I done it because of Vanna and Priscilla and Chelsea. And they're really good, and she speeds them up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, look at that. So I'll go back and I'll watch it. And I'm thinking, well, I think I could do that. So between Vanna and Priscilla and Chelsea and Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, I feel pretty confident when I sit down to try to finish something now. Sometimes, yes, it works out, and sometimes I have to do it over. But she has beautiful projects. She also quilts too. Then, when I said 3 people, I forgot to slide my ruler down. There's 4 or 5 people. Liz and Deb from Country Stitchers. Now, if you've not watched them, they really know their stitches and their techniques, and they have lots of info about different specialty stitches and types of stitching. And I think it's Liz, she also does beading, and she makes some beautiful beaded scissor fobs and things. They're just gorgeous. And I, as a beader, reluctant beader, as you know, I know how hard it is and how long it takes to get all those intricate designs. But she does a super job with that. But you need to check out their projects. And Deb's home is just so pretty. I saw it in the fall show that they had like a video and showed her home, and it was just gorgeous. So check those ladies out. All right, next, let's go to FFOs. Okay, now, some of this stuff has been laying on my table for a while, and it just needed to be finished. This was one item that my husband bought me for Christmas several years ago because he knows I'm stitching Scotty and I love Scottish Terriers. This one is from Mary Engelbright and Company, and it says Studio 18 Mary and Company. This is the only pattern I've ever seen that they've put out in cross stitch, but it's really cute, and it's got the little Scotty dog, and it's in a doghouse. Now, my dogs would never stand to be in a doghouse. Winston and Striker, oh no. But anyway, it included the little frame. Let's see. The one thing I forgot. Oops. There you go. And that's my finish right there. It was very hard to get in this frame because it's rubber. I had to have my daughter Jeanette help me with that. That was a struggle for both of us. But now I can enjoy it. Then, as you know, we're still tromping on toward the 12 days of Christmas from Just Nan. For those of you that haven't watched my video, I bought this pattern eons ago. And it's got the 12 days of Christmas, and I bought all the little frames. I didn't buy them all at one time. I would buy one, you know, when I'd go to the store, and then another one when I'd go to the store, and that way it didn't seem so expensive, because the little frames were a little pricey for that smaller frame. But I'm so glad I bought them. This is 4 calling birds. And I started this one at Stitch Mania, and when I started it, I just had a little red and green here. And when I got it out to do it, I was just twisting it around like, oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? But I finally figured out which side was what, so I didn't have to do any ripping out. Now, this one so far has been the most complicated of these I have done. This is 5 gold rings. I did lots of ripping on this one. Lots of ripping. But most of the threads that I use are DMC. And there is a number 8 DMC pearl cotton that you use for the white, and you use 1 strand of that. You can use Auversoise, but didn't have any. And it used quite a good bit of thread, so I thought, well, I'll just do that. And then it uses some Krennic blending filament, or you can use Accentuate, but we had Krennic, and it's on 32 count flax Belfast linen. That's what I did this on. I'm trying to get better about that. All right. Oops. Next, we had, you know, I had to have a shepherd's bush pattern. I love shepherd's bush. This was a little mini thing, and it's called Ho Ho Ho. Now, this one is done on 10 count Chula. And when my eyes are tired and I just don't feel like doing much, I usually do things on Chula, which is, you know, if I'm going to work on 36 count or 40 count, I don't go from Chula to that, because 10 count to that, you know, that's a big difference. I kind of work my way up. But this uses all DMC threads. And 1 week's dye works. It was Twilight Blue. And you use 2 over 2. And this is my finish. Ho, ho, ho. And I pop this one out sometimes so I can, you know, put other seasons in. Okay. And that's it for my FFOs. All right. Then, oh. No, it's not. I've got one. I've got one that's an oldie but a goodie. Covered it up. Now, all I know about this one is that it's a Just Nan pattern. It was at a cross-stitch retreat, the very first one I went to in Rock Hill, South Carolina at Stitch and Frame. It's a great needlework shop also. And this is the Just Nan, and she supplied the frame, the button, the floss, everything. And it's on linen, but I don't know what kind. But I really enjoyed doing that. I think we finished that at the retreat and framed it too. So there's that. All right. Next, we have, and I do want to say, I do love going to retreats. I will be so glad when we can go to retreats in person. I've been to a lot of retreats in person, and I've been to one Zoom retreat. And no, I've been to 2 Zoom things. The other one was a soiree at Sassy Jack's Stitchery. But they're good, but part of why I go to a retreat is to meet people and socialize, because I like to socialize. I love people, and it's good to get out of the house, you know. And plus, we get to eat out, or sometimes they provide food, and I am all for that. So anyway, I'll be glad when we can start having retreats again, because I miss those. I do. And I know the shop owners miss us. All right, next, you know, it was Thanksgiving, and I had been working on my Bent Creek Let Us Be Thankful row. And I have had this for forever. And you know, it would have been done by Thanksgiving and framed, finished and framed or something. But the Harvest Basket Gentle Arts thread ran out. And I ordered some. Usually I always try to buy like 2 skeins or whatever I need. And I ran out. And lo and behold, I had to use something else, because when the Harvest Basket came, it was a different dye lot. And boy, it was yellow versus a sandy brown. So I finally went through my DMC and found 3032 that I substituted for the Harvest Basket. And I did that about halfway through. And I don't think you can tell. Then I didn't have Palomino. My shop didn't have Palomino either. And I didn't think about it when I ordered the Harvest Basket. And plus, I'd already done what was the Palomino color was mostly. So I went ahead and had, well, I didn't use that. Excuse me. I'd already used the Classic Colorworks Cocoa Bean. And I substituted that. So we got our little turkeys. Didn't have to do too much ripping or anything. So that was good. And this will be ready for next year. I'll be all ahead. Yay! So, and I'll put that in my kitchen. All right, next. Now you're going to think I'm crazy, because now we're going to do something springy. But like I said, I've had stuff laying in this pile for a while. And no, I didn't stitch this week. But I did finish it, because I don't know about y'all, and I would like for you to comment on this if you don't mind. What point of cross stitching do you get to habitually and you just say, oh, I can't do this anymore, and you just throw it down or put it to you lay it to the side and say, oh, I'll come back to that, you know, in a week or so. Well, a week passes, a month passes, 2 or 3 months pass, and blah, blah, blah. You know what mine is? It's when it needs a button or a bead or a charm. I don't know. Embellishments or something, they just, you know, I'm like, I have to thread that beading needle and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, this is Flora Mix Sample. And of course, it's Lizzie Kate. So this says, busy hands make happy hearts. Now, this one's on 28 count mint green cashel linen. And it came with the abbreviated kit. There was no floss in the kit. And the little beads and the charm right here, the little heart charm came, it's under the basket, came with the kit also. All I had to do was provide the floss. So it was all done except for just those few beads and that charm. Now, is that not a shame? But now I'll be ready for spring when I get this finished. Once I can get the beads on it, it actually does progress to the next level. But when it's buttons or beads, it's like, oh, let's just lay there a while. I don't want to fool with that. And then I sit down and I do a whole bunch. And that's what I did this week while my husband was watching who knows what on YouTube. He must have watched everything. Then I stitched this. Oh, and that Flora Mix sample was a Mania start also for this year. And this Lizzie Kate Summer ABCs was also a Mania start. And I got all the way to the end, and I either had not bought the watermelon button or it fell off. You know how they use the little glue things. And my sweet friend Dolores Ringley, she bought me this watermelon button and gave it to me along with my birthday present. I was so tickled. So I went ahead and sewed the button on just this week. That was bad. And she laughed at me, rightfully so. But this one's stitched on 32 count. Oh, and I don't know the color. I would probably say Cafe Mocha or Natural Linen. And I used mostly DMCs. I used a couple of like Whiskey and Whitewash and Deep Sea. I used those, but most everything else I had to use DMC because I was camping and I did not take all my threads with me. So, all right, then we also have another Lizzie Kate. I'm just on this Lizzie Kate thing. I just grabbed what came out of the pile. But because this was Christmas, I made a special effort for that. This is Noel. It's a limited edition kit from Lizzie Kate. It includes the fabric, the rickrack, the jute, and it had the fabric in there, the cross stitch fabric also. It even had the finishing, it has the finishing fabric too. But it's over by my sewing machine. You can see it right, oh dear, right there. Already. I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. But anyway, this had charms and beads. And of course, it had beads and a charm. So it had to wait. And it was also a Mania start. And this is it. And it's stitched on, oh dear. It's stitched on 32 count linen. And it doesn't say, no, it's not. It's 28 count linen. But it doesn't say what the name of the linen is. And it came with a free needle nanny. It was an old school Santa. And of course, do I know where that is right now? Probably not. Okay, so that's going to go over here. And I will work on that maybe after this video while it's uploading. Next, like I said, it's a Lizzie Kate video. Fa la 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 la. Okay, this is also by Lizzie Kate, and the pattern is on the back of this. It was a limited edition kit. It included red and green beads, a snowflake charm, and triangle buttons. And it's a 4x4 design size. And I stitched 2 over 2, and I used sampler threads, Gentle Art sampler threads, and Weeks Dye Works. I think I might have used DMC 500 for the holly. Oh, and it also has a couple of classic color works, but this pattern's so old, it called them crescent colors. So, this is my finish. So, I don't know if I'm going to make a pillow out of it or if I'm going to frame it. Maybe y'all can give me some ideas because there was nothing included to finish it with. So, and last but not least, I sewed the buttons on this one too. And there were a couple of beads. And I started this one. This was a Mania start also. And guess what? It's a Lizzie Kate. Oh my goodness. It's just Lizzie Kate, Lizzie Kate, Lizzie Kate. But anyway, it's called A Little Liberty. I probably should be showing this in July, but I thought, Little variety never hurt anybody. So, I use, excuse me, I used 28 count linen, and I cross-stitched 2 over 2, and I used Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and I did not use any DMC. And this is my finish. And of course, I just sewed on the buttons and the beads this week to finally get it done. Okay. So that's where I bogged down. So please comment and tell me, where in the world do you get stuck? Or are you just somebody that's like, oh, I've just got to start this and I've got to finish it. Now my problem is I start it and then I watch Flosstube, or I go to my stitch group when things are normal, or I see my stitch group on Zoom and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at that. I've got to have it. So that's what my problem is. And then, oh, squirrel, I go over here. So, you know, that is something. So, of course, what am I going to work on now? Well, I finished 5 of these days. We have 7 to go. My Christmas tree is already up. I just put it up yesterday. Or was it the day before? Friday. Yeah, the day before. And I better get cracking. See, it's still in the same little hoop. Wait. There we go. I didn't work on it. I just left it there. So it's on 32 count linen, Belfast linen. And I'm using mostly DMCs and Chronics. And that DMC number 8 pearl cotton for the white. So I'm going to be working on that. Hopefully I can work on 6 and 7. So I can do 6 geese a-laying and 7 swans a-swimming. All right, next, what am I going to work on? Well, I started this when I was with some friends, and my girlfriend finished it, and oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. Well, you know me. I got sidetracked, but this is Nativity Row, and it worked up real quick, and the Let Us Be Thankful row worked up really quick, so I thought, ooh, a quick finish. Plus, I need some more things for Christmas. My Halloween, you know, is a bit much. So, but you know, you got to have Halloween. And guess what? I did not have any Halloween finishes this week. What is up with that? All right. Then, this is on, oops. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay. This is on 32 count linen. And it uses 2 strands of floss over 2 threads of linen. Now, it uses Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, Classic Color Works, and DMC. And some of the DMCs it uses, I have used before. So this E677 and E3821 for the gold leaf. Okay, you notice how they're already, the threads are already separating. Well, when I thread it on my needle, I do the knot thing, you know, where you tie the little knot at the needle. But sometimes, if it really gets on my nerves, I take just a little dot of clear nail polish and put on there. And then when I'm through, I just cut that off, you know, the little end, because it just keeps raveling and raveling and raveling. So that does help. Somebody in EGA, which is Embroiderers Guild of America, told me about that. And that is a handy dandy trick. So I'll be working on that, hopefully. I have to work a good bit this week, but that's okay. I don't mind. And, oh, I don't know if I showed you how much I had done. Probably not. And there's Joseph. And I think that's the top of baby Jesus's little blanket, but I'm not sure. Okay. No, that's the top of the manger and the light. Okay. Now, next, I'm going to be working on, ooh, my stuff is disappearing. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay. From Hands-On Design, Holly St. Nick. Okay, this is on 32 count vintage Tiffany fabrics by Stephanie. And it has buttons from Just Another Button Company. And I'm mostly using Weeks Dye Works and Chronic Braid. And this is how much I've got done so far. Okay, so that's where I'll start. There it is. Nope. I've lost my other whip. Oh dear. Well, hang on just a second. Well, I don't know where it went. If I can find it, I will be working. Oh, here it is. It's in the bag. Yes. Okay. No, it's not in the bag. That is not good. Well, I'll be working on Peace by Waxing Moon Designs, which is what I worked on at another stitch retreat. This has been the weekend for losing things. I don't know where in the world I put that. It's very annoying. Well, I'll show you next week if I find it to work on it. Oh my goodness. There's always something. Always something. Okay, so I guess that's what I'll do, but you know, I have to have a new start because I don't have enough whips. So I have really been wanting to do something with Country Cottage Needleworks. Every time I see this, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to start that. And I don't see like a title. Well, yes, it is a title. It's Away We Go by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I'm going to do it on the call for 32 count. Nope, I'm not doing it on 32 count. I'm doing it on 28 count. Chalkboard. Black. And this came from Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm using I'm going to use Classic Colorworks and DMCs. So that's hopefully going to be a fun stitch. It's a lot of stitching. Look at those houses. Goodness. And so that'll be interesting. And Stitch Roadie, Anna, baby, mine will not be a drunken Santa. You'll have to watch her video so you can get that. It's just really cute. Oops. Oh dear. Okay. Next, we're just throwing everything on the floor. All right, next let's talk about haul. Okay, this week I was so fortunate to receive my prize from Marlene, Stitching by the Lake. She had a giveaway. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, snowmen. I love snowmen. And it was a quilt pattern. And I quilt also. Not a lot, just some. Just enough to say a quilt. And I won the pattern. And what makes it so special is it's a Bunny Hill Designs pattern. And I don't know, if you don't quilt, you don't know what that means. Bunny Hill Designs patterns are very expensive. I mean, $40 for a pattern. And this is what I won. Is that not just fabulous? I just said, oh, that's going to be so pretty. And the quilt would be 62 by 66. But hopefully I can make it a little bit larger so it'll fit our bed. So that'll be really neat. It's going to take me a while to collect my fabric though. But ooh, I can't wait. Yay. And thank you, Marlene. And hold that thought a minute. I dropped the rest of what I wanted. She also was so sweet to put a little Cersei. I don't know if you know what a Cersei is, but it's just a little special gift that says, rejoice in the Lord always. And it's a little bookmark. And it flips over the page that you're reading, and it's got a magnet on each side, kind of like and it could be a stitch bookminder, you know, a short one for a small project. But it will hold my place in my Bible. And I really appreciate that, Marlene. Thank you so, so much. I'm so excited. Then, that was really all I got this week. Because, you know, due to the mail, nothing else has come. So, but I went to the store. And what did I find? Okay. Where I work, we have a gift shop. And we have lots of Christmas ornaments. And there's so many people that are into the farm thing. And the pigs and the cows and the chickens and all that. And I mean, pigs and cows and chickens are nice. But, yeah, they're messy. So, I'm a farm girl turned city girl, I guess. But anyway, this was the little ornament I saw. And you're saying, well, she got that at the gift shop at the hospital. I'll never be able to find it. It's a Burton and Burton ornament. And it's very thin. And I just thought, now, wouldn't this just be great? I mean, I could use this side. Or I could use this side. You know, if you use this side and put your ornament and stuff on it, it would be like two-sided and you wouldn't have to finish the back. So that would be neat. And I got this for half price. So it ended up costing me $2. So that wasn't too bad. If they had more, I would have gotten those. But they didn't have any more. Then, this is something I've had for a little while, but I thought I would mention it because there's a lot of stitchers that I watch that also do the felted wool and you do the applique on that. And this is called Tiger Tape. And it's really great if you want to space your stitches out. Do you see the lines? Like if you're doing a blanket stitch, buttonhole stitch, whatever you want to call it. It helps you space your stitches out. Or if you're basting or you need to sew a straight line, you just put this down, tape it to your project, and off you go. It's great for quilting also, hand quilting. Or any kind of craft. You know, say you were needing to scrapbook and you needed a straight line. This won't take the paper off. Then, last but not least, I thought I would show you this. I've had this for a month or two. I got several of my friends these. And this comes from Yarn Tree. And I replaced mine because mine was so old it cracked. And it's called a 4-in-1 stitch gauge. Now, it tells you inches at the top, and at the bottom it tells you your thread count. And this one goes all the way up to 40 count. Get that where you can see it. Yes. Before, mine was so old, it stopped at 22 count Hardanger. So this is really great. Because before, what I would do is I would say 14. I'd go, oh, here's 2. It must be 28. And it's 16. Oh, here's 2. It must be 32, you know, or here's 15, you know. But this is really, really a great tool if you don't know what fabric size it was. And I couldn't tell you what fabric size it was earlier until I measured it with this. That's why I went, so really neat. And it's only about $3, $2.95, $3.95, something like that. And I got it off of Etsy. All right, and that was all my finds for this week. Now, what are my plans? Well, I'm going to stitch on the 12 days of Christmas, okay? Hopefully, we'll do number 6 and number 7. Hopefully, that's my goal. More if I can, but this week, probably not. Then, I'm going to do Ho, 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 and away we go. The Santa Claus, and also the heart hands-on design Holly St. Nick. Hopefully I can get that as a finish, and Nativity Row. Hopefully I can work on all those this week and not get bogged down. Then I'm going to try my best to make time to work on my Noel pillow. So that's about all my plans, and I just hope that I'll have plenty of time to get some of those done. So I'll have some beautiful things to show you next week. And I would really like some comments on how I should finish the fa la 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 la. Let me show you that one more time. Should it be a picture, or should it be a pillow, a flat fold? I've never done a flat fold, but just let me know. I would love to hear that in the comments. And I just want to thank everyone for watching and subscribing and watching me drop things on the floor and just laugh. And, you know, there's no reason to be nervous, but I am. And because I know y'all are my stitchy friends, and I really appreciate that. And I just hope I'll have another video out this weekend, hopefully. And I just hope y'all have a great week. And I guess I'll see you next week. Happy stitching.